absolute is more dangerous than you can possibly conceive. It threatens all who live. It threatens the gods. We, the very fabric of the universe itself.
How would you feel about helping me kill some evil bastards?
Where the Vidya are concerned, the CRPG is the root of all role-playing. Before there was Dragon Quest, Breath of Fire, or Phantasy Star, there was Might and Magic, Bard's Tale, and Ultima. Long before RPG became synonymous with a group of adolescent amnesiacs sword-fighting a fucking god between 17-hour cinematics, early PC developers labored over a lone objective, one which for the entirety of the 80s and well into the aughts predominated the design philosophy of the majority of Western RPG studios. Make it like D and goddamn D. Not Animu, not a fucking action movie, a gaggle of dipshits dragging their nerdy asses through ever more labyrinthine fuck dungeons while the warrior kicks ass, the wizard casts spells, the cleric keeps them all alive, and the bard... Did I mention the wizard casts spells? But thanks to the emergence of the ever more streamlined sandboxes of CD Projekt and Bethesda, BTFO, and all the RPG elements, one best-selling sequel at a time, the CRPG genre was first put on life support and finally remanded to a Terry Schiavo 6-foot power nap. Look it up, Zoomers. And then along came Larian, architects of the eternally underrated Divinity series, which labored quietly amidst its early aughts contemporaries, occasionally quietly celebrated, but more often regarded as the sped-headed stepchild of an RPG genre by then given over to scripted sequences and omnipresent hack and slashery. By comparison, Larian's tabletop humping proclivities were downright fucking quaint. By the time Obsidian's Pillars of Eternity was falsely credited with reviving the classic CRPG in 2015, all Larian could do was impotently assert, "Hey, Plymouth Rock landed on me, motherfucker!" Well, who the fuck is laughing now?
Who's laughing?
Not yet, bitch. We'll get to you and your sweet little lies in the next review. So let's get this out of the goddamn way. Yes, Baldur's Gate 3 is essentially Divinity Original Sin 3 with D&D wallpaper. Yes, it has more in common with tactical isometric RPG efforts such as Shadowrun Hong Kong and Hard Fucking West than BioWare's seminal spell-slinging series. And no, I give not the first fiddler's fuck! So the combat's turn-based, so's tabletop Tinkerbell, and last I checked, Baldur's Gate had a tactical pause feature that gets abused like Michael Vick at a dog park. Sob in the corner and call your Meemaw about it. If you want to bitch about the combat, at least do it for the right reasons. Like the fact that healing spells do dick, and even the lowest level fireballs like getting hit with an orbital fucking tac nuke. Meanwhile, my barbarian can't hit the ground with his hat in 20 fucking tries, while a mage ceaselessly shit-spamming magic missile is like Jesus fuck Goku. To say nothing of the game having more collision issues than a Randy Rhoads flight school, there were, no shit, fights I physically could not complete on account of an asshole phased through the fucking floor on me. Who knew they had Slavjank in Belgium? Fortunately, combat's surprisingly infrequent for what is essentially a dungeon crawler. Instead, a sprawling world, teeming with activities to complete and cucks to kill unfurls itself like a vast, overextended simile.
Nobody's leaving this place alive, cuck.
Fortunately, your foremost interface to the world of Baldur's Gate is a bottomlessly deep dialogue system with no cheese-dick voice protagonist and altogether class no fucking dialogue wheel. If I want to say something, I'll say it. I have enough shit to be worried about, what with brainworms and Githyanki booty calls. I don't need to be playing verbal fucking categories to determine if the phrase sarcastic rejoinder means smooth move X-lax or let's bump uglies in a broom closet. I've seen console kiddies crying about the lack of a voice protagonist, even going so far as to suggest it's, and I quote, a step back for the gaming industry, and to you I say, sucketh yon dicketh. dip fuck. I shouldn't need to perform a fucking mind meld on Todd Howard to know what my character's gonna say.
Pain!
And who in their right mind wants to be subjected to that much Asian porn anyway? And all this while a jaw-dropping graphical upgrade sells it all spectacularly. Like a Meghan Markle wedding photo on opposite day, the closer you zoom in, the better Baldur's Gate 3 looks. Whatever else I'll say about the game, in every appreciable production category, this is a massive step up for the studio, such that along with its sales, this likely means Baldur's Gate 3 will be the very last truly double-A effort from this studio. Our bouncing baby Charmeleon has evolved into a Charizard. But what would an ambitious grab for AAA profits and acclaim be without an equally fumbling attempt to placate the pronoun police? Him, her, yours, yim, asterisk, pound sign, symbol for boron. If it's an aberrant sexual lifestyle, it's represented in this silly-ass intro screen. Isn't the entire point of transitioning for your ass to eventually arrive somewhere? If you're a dude becoming a chick, here's a wild, wacky theorem. Play a fucking chick! Instead, we get an alphabet soup of pronoun and penile political posturing intended to give a good old goosing to the gaming activists. All titty fucking two of them. Granted, this game was made in Belgium, a country where one of the larger parties in parliament are unironic communists, so I'm sure that took about as much arm twisting as getting Obama to make a campaign stop at Chippendales. Worse still, for a game so singularly focused on fucking character, is that it sells out its entire cast to make a cringy socio-political point. Look, I could see one of my party members being bi, some even to an obnoxious degree. Take everyone's favorite Twilight vampire, Astarion. As I promised on my live stream of the game in question, the moment I had another rogue in the party, this dude would be doing a Dracula dirt nap. And sure as shit, the moment my character unlocked the thief specialization, Count Twinkula died as he lived, penetrated by wood. But every solitary fucking character not only wanting to bone me, but being fully fucking willing and able to swing both ways in order to do so? You mean to tell me Gale spent year upon endless year, balls deep in goddess gash, only to abruptly exchange it all for a hot, sweaty man-ass? Sure, my personal politics come with German subtitles, but Larian, you didn't betray me. You betrayed your own fucking characters. The most unctuous aspect of this by far is the fact that despite a pre-release version representing nearly one full half of the fucking game, with a remarkably feature-complete character editor containing not a trace of paused PP politics, Larian deliberately concealed their socio-political proselytism until the full fucking release. Don't kid yourself. They did that for one reason and one reason alone. The pre-alpha would be played by Baldur's Gate 3 fans exclusively, a niche contingent, arguably aligning politically in a center or center-right direction. Given Larian's purported design philosophy of making direct alterations to their product based on feedback from the fucking fans, up to and including full rewrites of entire characters, this could have potentially delayed release and resulted in an incrementally lower social credit rating at the Bank of Beijing. But if they deliberately withheld the world-rending wokery for the full release, well then social media psyops and the entire fucking media class can run interference for this fucking nonsense, and anyone at all who bitches about it, well, they're just cranky, marginalized man-children and chuds, aren't they? You can dress it up any way you like, Gerard Depardieu. There's only one term for that. Bait and fucking switch. And fuck you very much for doing it only after you secured our pre-order payola. Though this character-driven approach can present something of a problem in other ways. For one, your party members vacillate manically between shitting an entire lore encyclopedia at your skull and refusing to say a solitary word to you for entire acts of the game. And that's only on the rare occasions they ain't packing for a weekend trip to the Bone Zone. If you dare refuse a fuck party with Lae'zel, she has less dialogue than Biden with a broken teleprompter. Hey, Larian, you think we can carve out a more meaty middle ground between fuck you and the nautiloid you fell out of and, hey, you remembered my name? Make me pregnant. Everyone in this game is either acting like an asshole or trying to show you theirs. With that said, I do find the game's lurid reputation, particularly as maintained by the media, to be exaggerated in the extreme. How exaggerated exactly? Put it this way. Witcher 2 opened with a tight Cecil B. DeMille close-up of Triss Merigold's gooch, and that's only the aftermath of an optional 5 fucking scenes. A game, I'd remind you, which the self-same slag was used to promote in the pages of Polish Playboy, which is a lot like American Playboy, but with far more unscrewed light bulbs. Point being, Baldur's Gate is positively tame by comparison. For all the press's proclamations of this being, and I quote, the horniest game in history, I was 3 acts in before Shadowheart shimmied out of her armor long enough to even dimly discuss the no-pants dance. Next to Yennefer, this bitch is a fucking nun. People are saying the game has a bad ending. No, A Night in an All-Amputee Massage Parlor has a bad ending.
That sounds...
Yes, it is very unpleasant.
These endings are ass-awful, but bitchin' bottom sorta kinda gives the fuck away that you have no conception of precisely what this game was even attempting to achieve. In case the lack of feathered hair and building-sized buster swords weren't a tip-off for you, this ain't Final fucking Fantasy. This is an attempt, however effective, at a near replication of a tabletop RPG. Unfortunately for anyone with taste, that RPG happens to be the 5th edition of D&D, with all the incumbent failures and fuckwittery that entails.
You guys are being attacked.
Do I see that happening?
No, you're outside by the tavern.
Cool, I get drunk.
Point being, tabletop role-playing sessions don't so much end as slowly peter the fuck out after the Pepsi and pizza rolls are pinched out. So well fucking played, Larian. If we could get B.O., butthole stench, and a creepy-ass friend of a friend who won't stop I fucking my goddamn girlfriend, this will practically be a D&D session simulator.
I want to play the Warlock.
And that's really Baldur's Gate 3 in a nut transplant. Everything it does well is down to its commitment to transferring the tabletop RPG it's based on. And everything as, see the fuck above. Clunky combat, we got that. Multi-classing and endless customization options, fortunately, we got that too. Trademark 5e D&D wokeness, occasionally and unfortunately, yes. Ability to annihilate every walking pair of pronouns you encounter, good golly, Miss Molly, it's a genocide sim. It ain't perfect, and the bag is more mixed than Dwayne Johnson's ethnicity, but if you prioritize richness of role-playing over all else, Baldur's Gate 3 is a big, beautiful gate. Tremendous gate. You're gonna be so proud of your gate. I'm Razor Fist. God fucking speed.
I need a volunteer with nerves of steel and the heart of a lion.
Of course! What fun! I'm going to fucking kill you.